One critic called my next guest not only a great rap group, but one of the best rock bands on the planet. Their music is anything but safe, and that's why they're one of the most controversial, anything but safe. One of the most controversial acts in the business. Please welcome Chuck D and Flava Flav, Public Enemy. So, Chuck, you don't dance.
I dance, man. You know, I fool some people, you know what I'm saying? You know, we all black, right?
Yeah.
So that's what it's about, right?
Absolutely, man. You know, I was surprised that you all have discovered so many and sprung so many careers that I don't think the general public knows about.
Well, you know, we have a history of being rap advocates. You know, I spent a lot of time doing this, studying it for 16 years. The beginning guys of rap, the Grandmaster Flashes, the Africa Bambatas, on up to Run DMCs, the LLs, I've been big fans. So, you know, our whole thing is to make our music grow and to show that we as black people can have something and not lose it like we lost the blues or jazz. You know, rap is the black American folk story. It's the black American folk tale, male and female. And it's something that we definitely need to be around to control. And right now, I see that we're losing control of it.
Yeah, and some of those groups that you've helped out, Hammer is one of them, actually.
Well, you know, when we was going out on tour, we've been on 22 tours, and back in the days of '88, we was one of the guys from the East Coast that happened to put rap groups from the other parts of the country and say rap is a universal thing. Not only rap is from all over parts of the country, but it's all over the world. So it would surprise some people where they could find rap. Rap is in the Fiji Islands, New Zealand, Brazil, and we've been to all of those places. And back in the days, you know, we've given a helping hand to such as, you know, guys like Hammer, vice versa too. Mix-a-Lot, you know, Ice Cube, NWA, Too Short, you know, as well as the brothers like EPMD, Stetsasonic from the East Coast. So, you know, it's one big family thing, and that's one thing we try to maintain.
Yeah, a few days ago, I think that one of the big things in the news was the concert in Arizona. Now, I heard on one broadcast you did one song, another broadcast said two songs, but however many, you left early.
Yeah, well, number one, you know, it was against our principles to even be in Arizona, but at the same time, we had to go there and push the point that was only 10 days away from the election day, where they could actually vote in the Martin Luther King holiday into existence over there. So we went over there and we played our intro. You know, we didn't just want to come out like, boom, here we go. No, we have our intro, which is a song called Lost at Birth on our album. And then we played By the Time I Get to Arizona. So by the time we got to Arizona, we let people know, it was 80,000 people say, yo, man, look, if we ever gonna come back here, man, before things gonna be all right, you know, vote that day in, you know, and, you know, make sure that things are right. You know, because right now I looked at it as being a slap in the face. You got one state that says, you know, forget Martin Luther King. I don't care how y'all feel. And to me, you know, black people, we're wise, intelligent people, and we should be giving credit where credit's due.
Yeah. The video, by the time I get to Arizona, was very controversial because of the violence, and MTV wouldn't play it?
Well, MTV ran a poll on it, and they ran a poll, and the people that called MTV said they favor it, you know, 66% to 33%, and they still didn't play it. That's all right. I'm not asking for people to play the video. We're just asking for it to be shown once, to give our point of view, tell people about our principles, and, you know, it was kind of violent, but basically, if it didn't show the violence in it, it wouldn't have got any kind of noise out of it. They would have just looked over it and it wouldn't have been no big issue. And basically, the violence was a slap in the face of the American system that has been violent to us for what, 400, 500 years? So,
yeah.
I mean, I just had to show, like, see how you would feel about politicians. This is how we feel about, you know, how we've been getting it.
Okay.
You know, you got to be hard, you got to be strong, and a lot of times, you know, when they show the black male image in a lot of the media circles, you know, we got to take the bass out of our voice, or we just got to lessen up. Nah, we've always been like that. And a lot of times that we've shown so much consistency, a lot of people tend to take it's like, okay, that's PE at it again. So you got to keep on coming out even stronger and stronger. But I mean, how strong can you get? You just got to be consistent. And our people need to get used to consistency.
Yeah. Now, everybody called Martin Luther King the Prince of Peace. If he saw that video, what do you think he would feel?
He'd have been upset at seeing himself get shot, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think...
Yo, kick it, man, kick it, G. Kick it, G.
I'm saying straight up, if Dr. King would have dodged the bullets, and he would have had a different point of view, exactly on, you know, how to look at things, you know what I'm saying? But it's in all respect to Dr. King, we want to say Dr. King was one of my heroes. We might not share all of our philosophies as people, because we're all people and everybody thinks differently, but he's one of my heroes too. You can't say he ain't.
Right.
But this is what I think, you know what I'm saying? You know, I got, you know, like, different type of heroes also, like Nat Turner, Malcolm, you know, Harriet Tubman, Sister Soldier, Ice-T, Ice Cube, you know, we go on and on, you know, Jim Brown.
Yeah. We take a quick commercial and come right back with more of these two gentlemen.
Kind of funky, man. I like that. My man does the poetry up there, Brother Williams.
John B. Williams. What's the origin of the clock? Flav.
What's up, G? Oh, yo, I was just grooving, man. Yo, they funky, man, they funky.
Yeah. When did the clock start, man? What's the origin of that?
Well, the clock started, man. Oh, man, I can't say because nobody was around when the clock started. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I mean, you know, the significance behind this clock here, you know, a lot of people think that I wear the clock just to be flashy or to be funny, but this just is an indication that time as being a very important element that can't afford to be wasted, you know, and, you know, each, you know, moment that we live our lives, we gotta use each minute to our best value, you know? You know, time brought us in, the time takes us out, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, but I always say, yo, I'm clocking. That means I'm paying attention. So you can't get fast on me, because I know what time it is.
Yeah. And you have a business in New York, I read about it in New York Magazine?
Yeah, well, you know, my brother Steve, you know, had me open up a barbershop. He talked me into opening up a barbershop because my brother's a barber and everything, you know, so, you know, I decided to open up this barbershop, and right now it's doing pretty well. You know, I got 4 nice fly barbers in there doing, you know, hair, you know, cutting hair, and I got a girl in there that do the nails and stuff, and also this guy in there, his name is Victor. He made the shirt here for me, you know. Try to get everybody to see this, you know. But this, we also do airbrushing inside my shop, you know. Y'all know it's funky, all of that, you know.
You have some very strong opinions on black businesses. I heard this morning that Bill Cosby is interested in buying NBC.
Bill kind of large then,
Yo,
right?
Bill been large all my life.
No, I think that's a smart move. You know, one thing I would say, you know, and I'm not endorsing anybody, but first of all, people got to be wise to know that the person that's been involved with the current administration for the last 12 years, common sense will tell you you can't swing that way if you're talking about problems now. All right? And that's talking about Bush. If he's been in there the last 12 years, he was the vice president, right?
Yeah.
And people think he just started 4 years ago. No, this is like 12 years of the same old. So you want to give somebody a new shot. Now, one thing Perot been talking about is like he's been talking about businesses, you know, ain't nothing going to get better in the inner city. What they mean by inner city is black, you know. Ain't nothing going to get better for the black cause unless we have our own businesses. Now we talk about needing jobs, but if we don't have our own businesses, we can't provide jobs in our communities, you know. And when Los Angeles went up, that was the whole thing. It's like, if I ain't got control over my community, it ain't my community. We got to control a lot of commerce. And, you know, these things have to be taught to us in the school systems. In the school systems, they don't teach you how to build a business. They might teach you how to run one, but to build one is providing a service to your community. And that's what we have to kind of train ourselves or get trained to run in our community, to really have it to be our community. So that's very important for us. That's how our dollars go around our community. It's something that got to be taught, and it's something that has really been played low-key ever since our existence in this country. We can't really think of ourselves as being Americans until we become part of, come to the table on our own. And, that's one thing that Minister Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam and Elijah Muhammad's principles have always been about self-sufficiency. We can hold our own. The black woman has been holding up our community for so long. It's time for the black man to come on the side. So let's do this. Then our children can say, yo, I got a job. Right now, we knocking on the doors of everybody else talk about, yo, what's up with the job? You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get no job, you got no business. And that's common sense. And Ross Perot talked about that. He said, yo, it ain't gonna get better for the black situation unless you're able to provide services for your own.
Will you be voting in this election?
Locally.
Yeah.
Right now we going through some stuff in our hometown of Roosevelt, Strong Island. And
Freeport, Long Island in the house, too.
And, a lot of people came down because I was saying, what we need to do is vote out them old politicians that have been, taking the money. And a lot of people came down on me because I said, what we need in our hometown, which is 1 square mile, is a fat youth center. Because I'm part of the youth that came out, 16, 17, where's it a place to go? Nowhere, out on the curb, out on the corner, and these things and programs need to be in more black communities and run by more black men. And if, rehabilitation was really in the jail system, then, there would be some kind of program where we could really build our communities. Yeah. But there's that conspiracy, C-O-N-spiracy, that really, has brothers go to the joint, come out, and more lost than they've been found. So right now, a change in America got to happen at the top, but for us in our community, it also got to start from the bottom, straight up.
So will you vote in the presidential election also? Maybe?
Yeah, but I can't tell y'all.
I'm running for president. Can I get some votes? Yeah, James Slade for president.
I'm just saying that right now, people got to look in the leadership, in the black community leadership in themselves. Look in the mirror. You looking for a leader? Be one. Yeah. Stop looking for everybody else. And right now, we got to worry about so much grassroots politics and dealing with each other. Maybe even dealing on a presidential level might be over our heads. White America right now is looking at all kinds of problems. So if they looking at problems, we gonna get it. So right now, we got to be wise to say, all right, let's deal with being a leader ourselves and make the logical decision who not to vote for.
Yeah. You talked about Mike Tyson in one interview. Would you speak on it for a minute?
Well, basically, it wasn't talking about the particular case per se, whether he did or he didn't. I'm not even getting into that. It's talking about how the Indiana jury was like, well, let's get this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Well, regardless of the circumstance, we got a prime opportunity. He's between a rock and a hard place. We're going to get him no matter what. Forget the case. And the whole thing of getting Mike Tyson happened to be bigger than the actual case between him and the sister, whatever happened. Yeah. And I'm not even dealing with those terms of that text. But on my cover of my 12-inch, which has been banned by a lot of record stores.
Yeah, but I got it here. This is an interesting picture, and this was in Indiana, I guess, in what year?
1930, Marion, Indiana. And it got a picture of two, I don't know if y'all got it, two brothers hanging from the rope. And the jury is right down here. And I likened it and made a comparison to the Mike Tyson case. And a lot of people are mad at that. But like I said, so many brothers and sisters is hanging by the rope of a justice system that's been corrupt from its root that, people ain't even second guessing it. And right now, in order for America to get better, people got to just sit and think a little bit. Like we say, common sense will fix things. But sense has never really been common. I'm gonna end on that note.
Public Enemy will be right back to perform for you. Flavor Flav, Chuck D.